Before INKuLtur, I was working in the sphere of political youth education, mostly in Russia, and we had a lot of restrictions in our work. I asked myself what else could I do that would be as essential and interesting as that, but give me more freedom. Eventually, it was a good friend of mine who brought me to the topic inclusion in the sphere of culture. He said it is important and has future, it's what you need. And he was right. With a group of colleagues, close friends by now, we started developing our ideas and concepts, and in summer 2018, the first INKuLtur project has started. Since then, INKuLtur has been inspiring and fulfilling me every single day.
Why INKuLtur? INKuLtur combines so many passions and values for myself. Working with Eastern European countries, having a broad network between these countries, working in the field of culture, and of course, helping to improve the situation for people with disabilities. Where else do we have these many possibilities when not for INKuLtur?
For me, INKuLtur was always a supportive place where everyone is valued. INKuLtur is also a place that unites disabled and non-disabled people on the way to inclusion. 2 years ago, when we developed an inclusive exhibition, it was a very challenging time for me. But in the same time, it was a great opportunity to be part of this kind of mutual cooperation. With our program, we want to create an environment where inclusion is a priority, and that's why I'm here.
The most heartwarming moments for me were and will be always if we reach to engage people for the topic of inclusion and getting them being engaged and passionate themselves for the topic of inclusion. That are the most important moments and will be always.
Beside the great goal of INKuLtur, supporting people with disabilities participating in cultural life, the first thing actually that comes into my mind when thinking of INKuLtur is the great team. I always enjoyed working in that great team that was always supportive. I always knew that there is a person listening to my needs, to my thoughts. I always felt highly appreciated, and I never had a working place where I could really be so creative and had so many possibilities and really do what I think was the best way. I always felt very welcome. It's such a warm atmosphere, and this is what INKuLtur means to me, and this is also what will stay with INKuLtur for the rest of my life, having this great team where I always felt comfortable.
Hello, I was part of the INKuLtur team in 2019 and I'm very thankful for this experience. I remember, for example, when we moved through the city of Berlin with people in wheelchairs and we experienced how many barriers people with disabilities still encounter in everyday situations. So now I'm very impressed to see how our first small project developed into an international program with many partners in different countries, and I wish you all the best for the future and thank you for the important work you do.
The project united governmental institutions, the non-governmental sector, mass media and individuals with disabilities themselves. It successfully achieved its goals, propelling inclusion in Georgia's cultural field to an entirely new stage. Thank you.
It was really an honor for the Caritas Aragak Foundation to participate in the INKuLtur program. I think for me the most exciting piece was watching how our 15 participants, representatives from theaters, libraries, museums all over Armenia, changed over the course of the program. We saw how they began to understand what inclusion means, to apply it in their own workspaces, and then to come up with amazing ideas on how to change the status quo in Armenia, how to make our country more inclusive and welcoming toward people of all abilities. And the best part was the culmination where they pitched ideas and proposals for small projects, low budget, big impact projects. And we're going to see the results of these in the future.
I'm representing the Ukrainian Organization of People with Disabilities Fight for Right. We expect our cooperation with INKuLtur to be very efficient and impactful, because now we are implementing together important project aimed at helping and supporting internally displaced Ukrainians.
Шановні колеги, від імені громадської спілки Ліга Сильних вітаємо вас із 5-ю річницею. Завдяки підтримці INKuLtur ми змогли зібрати у Києві представників громадських організацій з різних куточків України та задекларувати спільне бачення інклюзивної відбудови. Захід «Об'єднуємось для інклюзивної відбудови» став своєрідною платформою для мережування та взаєморозвитку організацій, що працюють для людей з інвалідністю. Віримо, що зможемо організувати схожі заходи та вплинути на стан інклюзивності та доступності, адже взаємодія з командою програми залишила найпозитивніші враження.
So, thank you for the opportunity to do something useful and make a difference.
Thank you once again.